questions, concerns, anything like that. I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. This is might be short and sweet this morning. First of all, if you don't know who I am, my name is Sheena Michelle. It has been 11 years in this industry. I've been doing insurance for 11 years full time. And I will say, I don't know, or anybody here a year under who been in the insurance industry less than a year. Okay. Josh, we got Shane, Dane, oh, Jason, Quentin, Angie. So kudos, right? Kudos for you for first of all saying yes to you, right? Saying yes to this opportunity. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna be transparent. I've never wanted to do insurance. I think insurance was for people who didn't look like me and older and knocking on doors. I just thought it was a crazy thing. Why would I want to do anything like that, right? That is absolutely insane. And I never wanted to do sales because sales just was not my thing. I tried it, didn't want to do it. If I could be transparent now, obviously, let me tell you right now, you've caught me in my evolving days, right? Evolving, two failed marriages. I got a bunch of kids, right? And then I earned a lot of money at one point, right? And so it's a lot of things that come with that. And so I'm in my evolving stage. So you guys caught me in a really good place. 2 years ago, it would have been a different conversation, different conversation. But thank God for person development, right? Thank God for person development, and thank God. And so when I first got into the industry, because I just really never did want to do insurance, right? And no one wants to grow up and be an insurance agent unless your parents was an insurance agent and they was very successful at it. But my first 90 days, talking to the brand new people, my first 90 days, I made $0. First 90 days, zero, not a dime, right? And zero as a single parent with three kids. And my kids were like 9, 10, and 11, I believe at that time when I got into it, 9, 10, 11, the very first, I would say the first go around, 9, 10, 11. And so I stopped what I was doing. I quit my job to jump into this insurance thing and made $0 my first 90 days, which means some of y'all who probably never earned any money in 90 days, you probably would have quit and found you a job, right? But I had already quit my job. The only reason why I didn't earn the money that I needed to earn at that particular time is because it was really just me, right? They told me that Shenna, you could start this thing part-time, and after coming from working two jobs, and then I could create my own schedule. I went and knocked on doors. Somebody didn't answer the phone. I went right back home, right? Because I was a door knock. I did a field sale. I was a field agent for 5 years until I had drunk a bottle of alcohol one night, and then my baby came 9 months later, and then I've gotten to telesales. Y'all was supposed to laugh at that. Don't drink, don't overindulge in alcohol unless you want to have. I have a child in college, and I have a child in first grade. Insane. Do not recommend, right? I'll be raising kids for my whole entire life. It makes no sense. But anyway, so I quit every single day as well. I quit every single day. I said, this thing is crazy. Why am I knocking on these doors? Then I gotta do commissions, and like these people don't want to buy insurance. All these things. I had an excuse for everything, right? And I'm not a real big fan of excuses anymore. But until my mentor, when they say the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I got really tired of being sick and tired. I mean, like there were people who was winning, and I'm like, "Well, I can't believe this person over here is like doing better than me." That's just me, right? I like look. They don't look like they should be doing better than me. If I can be transparent, I was like, look, I wouldn't even understand. And so eventually, I had to bring myself down because they said, Sheena, all you got to do is do this, read the script. We had the flip book at the time. It's just the script. That's all it is. And I was like, why are we going over this information? I know how to read a presentation, right? I know I got to knock on the doors. I know this. And my mentor said, Sheena, well, how do you know so much but have so little? I do not understand. And so then I had to just calm down. And then finally, again, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I told my mentor, hey, I am so tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of not having like being able to do the things that I wanted to do. Now, I would say six-figure earner in my head already, right? But the money didn't match up, and I just didn't want to be what I didn't want to what people say, fake it till you make it. I didn't want to fake it till I make it. I got tired of faking. At that point, I wanted to make it. And I just said, hey, I need you to help me earn. I want to earn six figure. I want to earn $100,000. And then he then told me all the things I need to do. So I'm going to go to information. I want to tell you right now, like the things we've been teaching over um in this industry. Let me pause back because I did say 90 days 90 days made $0, but my first year I end up doing 45,000 after I had the all right, Shenna, get your stuff together. Otherwise, you're going to lose it all. And I did. At one point, I did lose it all. I was homeless, lost my house, lost my car, like all these things. So I understand if, life be life and I didn't have anything and everything that happened to the business. But because I continued to do what I needed to do and not what I felt like doing, I then became the fastest woman to earn $1 million in the insurance industry at our last company, which was Senior Life, the fastest female to do it within 2.5 years. So I'm telling you, someone told me, Sheena, be here a year from now. And all I kept thinking was, Sheena, just be here a year from now. Just keep going. And because you can't continue to do the right things and get the wrong results. It's just not happening. It's just really just continue to do the same, sometimes mundane things. So, y'all, we have 50 days left in this year. 50 days left, which is absolutely insane. And just in case if anybody want to know, if you want to give me a birthday present, my birthday is December the 28th. And so that means don't give me a birthday and just a birthday and a Christmas. It needs to be two separate gifts. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So
I
50
got
days.
that bottle of Hennessy ready for you for the
Absolutely
next
not.
baby. It's
Abs-
coming.
no, no.
I think it was tequila.
Scotch. I only drink scotch now, just a sip of it every now and then. So absolutely not. Anyway, stay focused, guys. So 50 days left in the year. And what I need you guys to ask yourself is and I'm doing personal development. I'm not doing any type of script training. I let them the script training is usually like neurological things. All these things, the thought process. So I'm going to get you all to think today, just really to think and reflect. But I'm not going over the script. I'm really just thinking because 10% of what we all learn with this insurance things are technical things. How to do the script. All these things is technical. 90%, which was has caused me to last 11 years, is a mindset. 90% is mindset. I believe how you see a thing is how you treat it, and how you treat it is what it becomes. So ask yourself, how do I see myself in the next phase of life? How do you see yourself next year in 2026, or that next day? How do you see yourself? Right. And so and so let me say this, and I'm want to make sure I tread lightly with this, especially with going on in the world right now. But what I don't want to do is be on the other side of people being without, right? And so this thing that we have is that what people tend to do is that poor people play the game not to lose, because I need you to change your mind. Poor people play the game not to lose. Rich people play the game to win. And so you have to ask yourself what side you're going to be on. Because at some point, the middle class will get wiped out, and the poor eventually going to work for the rich. I believe in our lifetime. Now, maybe in my kids' lifetime, things might be a little different. But right now, I believe that the middle class will be wiped out, or it's being wiped out, and the poor eventually will work for the rich. You got to ask yourself, what side do you want to be on? And that the rich people play to win. And so even in the game of insurance, and even in how our platform is that you need to bet on you. If we know that the leads is the way to go. I'm a very big fan of leads. I've always purchased leads in my 11 years. I've always purchased leads. I am not a door. I door knock, right? I've done that. But I'm not like a friends and family go through my phone, Warren Market. That is not me because I believe in making money. I believe in making money fast and not slow. And so leads for me was the way to go. So even when you're ordering leads, you already have your mindset that I bet on me and I know these people go I know the amount of people are going to just going to say yes for me. Poor mentality person saying, I might purchase this one day because I don't know if today's a good day to do it or if anybody's gonna buy around with what's going on right now. So change your mindset. And then and so also getting a board of directors, right? Getting a board of directors. If I can get there, I got like feedback and I don't know where it's coming from. And I don't have, thank you so much. Get a board of directors. And so who is your board of directors? That means the people you talk to probably daily or somebody who has some type of effect in your life, people you listen to all the time. This is no disrespect to anybody, okay? So this is just me talking. It is what it is. My board of directors at first were people who titles end in R. Who are those? My mother was on my board of directors. My father was on my board of directors. And mind you, those are two people who told me not to do insurance. And they were on my board of directors. My teacher at one time was my board of directors. Shenna, all you got to do is get good grades and go to school and get a good job. Get a good job. Hey, can we please I'm not I know there's some co-hosts on here. Yeah, thank you so much. Just do me a favor, co-host, because I don't want to be doing this. Go through the line and just mute people who mic is unmuted.
On Sheena.
Thank you so much, Jen. That's my girl. Love you, love your hair. Hope you win. um my teacher, board of directors, right? My preacher was on my board of directors, right? It is okay to love those people, but I do not acquire from those people, right? I am, and hey, I am a cussing Christian. I'm gonna tell you right now. So some of y'all cussing Christians too. Some of y'all love God and you be cussing too, right? I read my Bible. I have a Bible book every day. I do believe that my calling is I'm supposed to be a minister. I do believe that. However, I run a business. My preacher cannot teach me how to run a business. I I'm glad he ain't on here, but he has a church, and that church is not ran like a real business. It ran like a mom and pop shop, right? I hate to say it, but it is what it is. So I had to remove those people from my board of directors. I can only listen to them at a certain I can love them, but I do not acquire their taste. I had to get a new board of directors. Well, who would be on my new board of directors is my mentor. That is for business, right? My mentor on my board of directors. My friends are not on my board of directors. I love them. I just do not acquire the things that they say because I don't want to be where they are, right? Um, and so another thing going into to the new year is that embrace the journey. You got to embrace the journey, but control your conditions, right? Embracing the journey. The journey is the journey. Do not focus so much on the destination. I'm gonna go into that. Ooh, my time. But control your conditions. Whatever your conditions in, control it. You reap what you sow, right? We know that it's in the Bible. You reap what you sow, but nothing happens. Nothing happens without a cause. If you don't do anything, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you don't do anything now, then later, I mean, winter is coming, right? And so you should have prepared prior to about how winter is coming. If you're not sowing anything, if you're not doing the things, you're not doing the things, then eventually you'll look up at 2026 and you're in the same situation that you're in 2025. I will hope and pray that on November 11th of 2026, you're not having the same issues that you're having in 2026 that you had in 2025. If you're not growing, then you're dying. If you're staying stagnant, you're dying. Things are going to go down the hill, right? You are where you are because of your conditions. You are where you are right now because of the decisions that you've made 90 days ago, 30 days ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm in the decision that I made where I'm at right now. And I'm not even going to kind of go into where I'm at right now based off the decisions that I made 10 years ago. And usually that has something to do with your mind, right? And so you need to have a quantum leap going into 2026. You can start right now. You need to have a quantum leap. What is a quantum leap? It's just really an increase or an advance in something. All right. And so, how to have a quantum leap? First of all, there's like you have to learn how to communicate. There are four levels of communication. One, and I need you to write this down because this is where it's you have to go back and apply, not to read it, not to just have it written down, but to go back, apply it, study it, and do it. Is that four levels of communication? The first level of communication is a lie. It's the lie. It is the lie we tell ourselves. It's a lie, right? People believe their life to the point it becomes their lie to the point it becomes their truth. What are you lying to yourself about? And you have to actually, am I lying saying that I really am working, or I'm lying and say I really, really want this. I'm lying to say that I'm doing all the things I need to do. That you first have to first have to determine what the lie is. What am I lying to yourself? And you need to go back and fill in what are you lying about? Because this is first level of communication is a lie. The second one is then the truth. Now you have to tell yourself the truth. I've lied. Now I need to tell myself the truth. And when you tell the truth, that's when you start to have buyer's remorse. That's when you start feeling a certain type of way. You start to have some type of anxiety about yourself. Cause now, man, Shenna, let's be real. And I'm transparent. The lie was my I'll be transparent. The lie was my failed relationship was because of it wasn't my fault. That was the lie. It wasn't my fault. Now I take full responsibility because that was my lie. It wasn't my fault. I blame it on somebody else. My business, it failed because I just, these people really not answering the phone, or like the lie is I'm really, really working really hard for my family. The truth is, well, Shenna, you did play a part in your failed relationship. You did play a part in bills that are not being paid. You played a part and the numbers are looking down. You played a part in it. And you have to and there is and you know what the part that you played in it. And so then when I start to figure out the truth, then I feel a certain type of way. I start getting a little stressed out. I start having some type of anxiety. But then I start to become very transparent, which is 3. Transparency. When transparent is present, then you start to build a relationship with yourself. When you're being transparent with what's truly going on, you'll then build a relationship with yourself. And then 4 would be vulnerability. And then when you become vulnerable, then you start to establish a connection within yourself. And then once you start being able to communicate with yourself, then you'll be able to start communicating with others, right? So in the beginning, right? In the beginning, there was a separation between darkness and light. If you believe the Bible, if y'all read the Bible, there's a separation between dark and light. And in the heaven and the earth, and these seeds were planted, and then what we have, and then eventually they had animals, right? We had animals, but the animals needed like dominion. And so they needed dominion. And so that's where Adam was created, right? And so dominion is really just a power or control, right? So then, so basically God spoke, and this is where it became. So Adam came, And then he needed a support system, which was Eve. But the beginning always started with creation. That's how the beginning started. And if you do not understand the power of the creator, then if you'll understand the power of the creator, then you'll understand creation, right? And when you behave in a way that isn't consistent on how you were created, it then creates shame. Let me say it again. When you behave in a way that isn't consistent on how you were created, then it then creates shame. And so when shame takes place, that's when loneliness starts to happen. When you're not being consistent and you're not in alignment, that's when things, and this is with life in general, not just life, right? You're if you're not being consistent on how you created, there's separation in your household, then there becomes separation in your business, and then you're separated in a virtual call center, and then you're unmuted. All of these things play a part if you're not in alignment and you're not consistent on how you were created, right? And so if so and which means that that's like the beginning phase of like deception. And that's the emotional shame of knowing you're not doing something right. And so if there is no shame, that means that we are at the peak of even how we were created, right? And so then we go from like the peak to then going downwards where it's then going to like poverty. Because all these things, you're starting here, then you're going downwards, all right? And so that means like you're going to the decision. And so decision is just really just the act of moving downward. And when you're moving downward, you then become disconnected. You become disconnected from your family. Then you become disconnected to the business. All these things are then aligned. And disconnection makes you break away, which is why I wanted to quit my first 90 days because now I was not in alignment. I was not doing the things I was supposed to do. In my head, nobody could see me go to that house, but I went to that house one time and they didn't answer the door and I went home. Nobody knew that what was happening, but I knew because I was disconnected, and then I was breaking away from what I was supposed to do, right? Because I was living in shame, and shame loves secret. Shame loves secret. So that when you're disconnected, so that disconnection should then must be present. So now you got again going back to being transparent. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you stop showing up, you stop being on mute, your camera's off, then eventually that becomes exposure. Time will expose you or promote you. That's all it is. It's going to expose you or promote you, right? So then you're going to start hanging around. If you don't get to where you need to be, you're going to start hanging around also disconnected people, which is then you're going to hang around and these people who are always negative, who talks about the system, who got all these stuff going on, right? And so eventually then you become absent from the truth, which is the universal truth and is also a representation of God. So every time you're disconnected from the truth, you lose some type of power, which is the power that you were giving was dominion, right? So let me go into these things. Well, I'm going to talk to you real quick about the 4 bases of success. And I'm going to go through this because I only have a few minutes. The 4 basics of success, right? Anybody heard of the 4 basics of success? Yes, no? Nod your head. Nope. Okay, great. Hardly any of you all. So I'm going to help you out. What's the 4 basics of success? So ask yourself, what motivates you? What motivates you, right? Figure out what motivates you. Motivation is typically success. It's success that you desire. Write in the chat. What is some of the goals that you're wanting to reach? What are some of the goals that you for loves communication? Yes, absolutely. What are some of the goals that you're wanting to reach? Is it 100,000? You can put in the chat. Is it 500,000? I don't know. Figure out what goal are you wanting to reach. Well, anybody have heard of Earl Nightingale? Anybody heard of Earl Nightingale? Yes. Great. Go watch, he has a video, the strangest secret. I encourage you all to listen to that for 30 days, 3.5 million, absolutely 1 million, right? I encourage you guys to listen to that for 30 days straight. Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. I would suggest reading it in the morning time and reading it at night and listen to it at night time. It's on YouTube. It's free. And so what he said is the strangest secret is success. The definition of success, financial freedom. That's great. I need y'all to put something on it though, but I'm about to tell you, I'm going to explain to you when you putting these things in. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What's the worthy ideal? A goal. You want to earn this. That's like success, and it's just the journey of it, and not the destination, right? And so because when you get to the destination, it no longer feel like success anymore. I remember when I was earning $20,000, and then I said I want to earn $100,000. When I got to the $100,000, which was considered success, it was no longer a success to me, right? It was really only an achievement. It's only an achievement because you're gonna want something else. There's something else that you want, right? Success is just a moving target. And so once you get there, you're going to want more. That's just the reality of it. And so that just means that success is growth. It's a moving target. It's not about the journey, it's a destination. And so in that success, though, it's who you are becoming and not what you have. It's who you're becoming. Not what you have, but it's who are you becoming, right? And going back to you become what you think about. Going back to, I when I first got into the insurance game, I thought about myself earning $100,000. So I became that person before I got to the $100,000. I walk like someone who's earning $100,000. I talk like someone who's earning $100,000. I dress like someone who is earning $100,000. I study people who is earning that and studied what they did, read and studied these books. I became who I wanted until I became that person. And so, that means I had to get there. So you want to earn $100,000, you have to get there first, but you got to understand that you have to be, it's here. You are here. Everyone has it here. And so your income right now is here. Whatever it is, you want to get better health, that's here, but you have to get there, right? And so spell here. Spell here. Write it down. Here is HERE, right? But in order to get there, you got to start here. And if you spell there, it's THRE. And the only difference between here, HERE, here in the noun, and there is the T, which is time. You have to put in the time. It takes time. And so let me ask you a question. Where do you want to be? Where you want to go? How much you want to earn? What are these things, right? But in order for you to get there, before you get there, you start here. But once you get there, you're going to be right back to here. Once I got to my 100,000, which is where I wanted to be there, then once I got there, now I'm back at here, which is now I'm at 100,000, and now I want to get to a $500,000, but now it then takes time. But once I get there, I realize $500,000 is not enough money anymore. Now that I got it, it's no longer 100,000, $500,000. It's not $1 million, and I've already earned that. And I realized that it's not. It's just a thing, and now I want to do that because again, there's success is something that is growing, right? It's not always there. It's not always here. You got to get there to get here. Okay. Four bases of success. Who are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Whoever you're listening to, and I don't know whoever you listen to, whoever is you are listening to has your heart because they have your ear. If they have your ear, then they have your heart. Be careful who you are listening to. All right. There are two sets of people that you should be listening to. One, it should be the Holy Spirit, right? Because the Holy Spirit would then decide who then will be the physical person based off your connection with the Holy Spirit. And those people, those are the two people that you need to be listening to, or the people that you are listening to. If you're disconnected, you're listening to somebody who's not going to better your life. If you're connected, then you're listening to somebody who's going to better your life. So who are you listening to, right? It has to be somebody that's going to lead you to the truth. I was talking to someone yesterday, this weekend, and they were telling me these truths, and I got upset. Did not like it, right? They were saying this, but I would listen to them because there was some truth to it. They were not afraid to tell me the truth. I could listen to that person, right? So, find some money, someone that has your ear. That whoever has your ear will have your heart. You believe those people are going to tell you the truth, right? It's not a friend that's gonna be, oh girl, you look good, and when you don't, right? Oh, your workout partner, oh, you doing good today, and you're not. They're lying to you. So find you somebody that will tell you the truth. The truth is T, and the acronym of truth is truth. The R is respect. Those people are going to tell you the truth. Someone you respect, someone that's unity, that's in alignment in what you're doing, someone who's successful, right? I'm not listening to people that I do not want to be like. And then the T is time. They have more time than you. And not is in years, but time in the business, or time in marriage, or time in this. So those things when you're looking for a mentor, right? And then get you a mentor that is give you perfect advice. And I'm going to go a few minutes over. This mentor is going to give you perfect advice. A mentor is really someone to give you perfect advice from an imperfect person, right? And so they're giving you the perfect advice. They're giving you the things, but they're imperfect, which means do not judge your mentor. They already jacked it up, right? They jacked it up and they want you to do better. And so they're going to tell you these things, but don't judge them because you know them, right? Another 4 level succession. Number 2 is going to be decision, which means that you need to, decision is require some type of humility and submission, right? Someone said, Shenna, how do you know so much but have so little? Is because I became a know-it-all, right? You need to become a student. I don't care how many years. I've been in the business longer than David Price, right? I've been in business longer than David Price. I feel like I know a little bit more with some things more and certain things with David Price, right? However, because I will always be a student, I always become a student. Some people have more years than me. It does not matter, or less years than me. I will always be a student to somebody who knows just a little bit more, right? You got to be coachable and you have to be teachable. Hey, you senior agents who've been doing insurance for 40 years, you need to learn how to be coachable. Somebody who is, I'm in my 40s, right? I'm mid 40s. You have to be coachable and listen to somebody who might be younger. Hey, older person, Sheena, you might need to listen to somebody who got 10 years less than you, but they know what they're doing, right? Be coachable and be teachable so that you'll be able to learn. And if you're not learning LEARN, you will not earn EARN. And the EARN and LEAR is EARN, and LEARN is EAR. Have to have it here. You have to hear in your ear so they can have your heart so you can get to where you need to be, right? You must change. You must change. If you don't learn, that means you're not changing, right? If you're not changing, then you're choosing your situation that you're in. If you're not changing what you're doing, then you are choosing to be this. And if you're not changing, that means you forfeit your right to complain. You don't get to complain about anything that you're not changing. That is on you. That's on you. Number 3, success. Success is having like a scale, like a balance scale, and understanding. It's just an awakening of life, right? That's all it is. And let me just kind of go down to Well, I'm almost done. So there are two words that you need to focus on: invisible and visible, right? Two invisible and visible. That's the world that you need to live in. The invisible world is greater than the visible world. The invisible world is greater than the visible world. It's the invisible world, going back to what I was talking about earlier, it's the invisible world that creates the visible world. The invisible world is what creates the visible world. Hebrews 11:3 says, through faith we realize the world reframed by the word of God, by the words of God, right? So that the things that are not seen were not made of that were not made of the things that does not appear, right? It's the invisible that then makes things visible, which means that the things that you see were made about things that does not happen, that did not happen until things became invisible, then it became visible. So everything that shows up in this world right now are coming from the invisible world. What do you want? Well, in order for you to have this house was created from the invisible until it became visible, right? So 90 to 99% of the things you desire is spiritual. It's the thoughts that create to how things how to get the things that you want. It's the thoughts, right? Again, you have to think it before it becomes, right? Understand it was created, it's spiritual, and then it became physical. The last thing is patience. Patience. The You have to have patience, Lord Jesus. You have to have patience. There are four levels of patience. The first one is unconscious incompetent, consciously incompetent, consciously becoming competent until you're unconsciously competent. And once you've done those things, you've realized you've mastered everything. By being unconsciously incompetent, you graduate to being consciously incompetent. Now I'm aware. Then I'm consciously being very competent. Now I'm very aware of things that I'm doing, but then I'm unconsciously of being competent. I'm not even aware of me doing the things because I've then mastered these things. And in order to get there, you have to get here. In order for you to earn these things and have these things, you got to learn how to know, then do, and then teach, because all these things is duplicatable. Everything that you're wanting, you have to know what it is, you have to do what it is, and then you have to teach it. Otherwise, you will not get there until you realize you are here. That is my time. I hope if you really wrote these things down, I hope it's thought provoking, and understanding that some of you all are not where you need to be yet because you are in a pit. You're in a pit. You're in a pit. And you're not moving because you're stuck in a place that you do not need to be in or not aware of, and you can't go there until it starts from the very beginning of being in alignment on how you were created. And if you're not in alignment then with that from the very beginning, then nothing else follows. Everything else fails. That is my time. Yeah, we have Medicare leads. I'm sorry. I need you all to make sure you fill out these Medicare forms that we have. The Medicare forms, guys, every time the client's over 65, you need to fill out a form. And so that the Medicare team to reach out to these clients, you can get $100 credit, guys. Guys, we have the virtual call center. This is just the meeting that we have, the morning meeting, and then we break out into these virtual call centers. Get it in alignment. Remember, everything I said plays into. So if you are leaving here and not going to work, I mean, you're going to a regular job. If you're on this, if you're saying this is you want to go there, all these things go in place. So if there's 100 people on Zoom right now, it should still be 100 plus people, 30 minutes, 90 minutes, an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours. If you are doing this full time, and if it's not right, it shows up and your production will then shows up into your bank account. And again, if you're not changing, you're choosing to not have the money, you're choosing to tell your wife no, you're choosing to tell your kids no, you're choosing to not have your bills on auto pay, you're choosing to have the rent behind, you're choosing to have the mortgage people calling you, you're choosing the collection people, you're choosing not to live on a certain type of time, you're choosing not to be able to purchase lead, you're choosing all these things because you're not changing. And which means you forfeit your right to complain. And that is on you because nobody cares. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Y'all take care. We meet you all in the virtual call center.
Thank you, Shenna.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Shenna. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Good
Shenna.
stuff.